Hello, Jupitines! I think my internet connection today is so much better, so you can also see me, not just hear me. And tonight, it's already night, it's almost 11 o'clock. Tonight, I am gonna talk to you about, I think, a topic that has me feel very like, I feel so connected to it. And that is three reasons. I'm going to share with you three reasons why you should not have a plan B. I feel very passionate about this conversation because I think it is one of the things that has people um, not accomplish what they really want to accomplish in their life. So, a lot of people say that they want to give their dreams a try, right? And they do so, but they have this backup plan of like, you know what, I'm gonna try it, but if I fail, I can always go back to my old job. And this is something that I would hear a lot from people in a corporate role. In fact, I've met people who, when I share with them what my dreams were, like what I wanted to do, they would be like, oh yeah, I also tried X, Y, and Z, and it didn't work for me. It didn't work out for me. I know there's a lot of like personal development books and etc. etc. But I tried it, and that didn't really work for me. So what I see is that when you have your mind set on an exit plan, which is what I call plan B, an exit plan, it means that you already given in into your insecurities. Your insecurities are running your world. Um, they have got the best of you. So if you have an exit plan, it's my opinion is an exit plan, a plan that, for example, you want to make sure your bills are paid, right? You want to make sure that you are able to consistently invest in your business, because I think in the beginning, unless you have investors, and that's not, I wouldn't consider that profit either. In the beginning, you probably aren't gonna make profit, and you're very lucky if you break even. I'm not gonna say that's not the case ever. Hi Shara. And so it's kind of like, most likely you won't make the money that you're expecting to make. And I'm not going to say that there's no people. I've met people who have made money from the beginning, but a lot of them have worked in the background on their business. And this is what I considered like a plan B, an actual plan B. And that is, maybe you have a side job, like a flexible job where it will help you with your bills, will help you what you're dealing with, but you still have plenty of time to focus on your business. You are not going to give up working on your project because you have to go and work your 9 to 5, right? The other good thing is, I've met people who have a nice savings. So that's like their backup plan. And um, well, that's their support system, not necessarily backup plan. That's really what. Hi, Sharky Dance. Hi, Polanco. That's really what has them feel basics needs are covered. Hi, Mr. Palad. Palad. I don't know how to pronounce that. And hi, the Void. And what they have is basically those needs of like paying their bills, their rent, food is covered because they have savings. And or another good thing is, I don't know, maybe you have family that really supports you and they have a garage that you can use. There is a lot of people who, hi Veronica, and there's a lot of people who have done that. I think some of the bigger tech companies that we know, like Apple and Microsoft, they think they started from like the garage of their parents or something like that, um, which in my opinion is a great thing. If you have that option, take it. It might not feel comfortable for a while. You might not feel like you have your complete freedom, but you will have one thing. And what's the number one goal? And that is for you to be able to focus and work on your dream, on the project that you really want. Um, the other thing that you can do is limit how much you go out. Something that I did when I started my business and then started YouTube is I knew that I could not continue living my day-to-day life. I couldn't go out as often. I still needed to go out because that's important for all my mental and my emotional health. I still needed to be connected to people, but I couldn't go out the same way because I had to lower my expenses. I also had to stay focused. People invite you, they say, oh, let's go do this thing, or let's go see, I don't know, go to a concert, let's have dinner. And the truth is, sometimes that's completely okay to do, but if you are doing that like regularly, what is happening is you are putting the energy that you could be putting into your project into something that is not necessary right now. It can wait. And I like, again, I'm not talking about you needing to be connected with people and still needing to go out. You have to decide what that is. It could be once a month, it could be once a year, whatever it is. And yeah, you should definitely have a plan to stay connected to the people, specifically people who bring you good energy and good vibe. And then my third point to you is, because that was my second point, my third point to you is cut out people who don't support you. Or maybe not necessarily cut them out. There are people in your life who might not be supportive. They don't get what you're doing. Some of them, it's not that they're not supporting, they just don't really get what you're trying to do. They might think like that's ridiculous. I had people in my life who voiced it. I had people who never voiced it, but I had people who have told me, you should be focusing on starting a family. You should be focusing your energy on other stuff. And I was like, no, I appreciate it. So I didn't cut out this person. Or there's more than one. And I just like need to take a break. Need to take a break, figure out what I'm doing, because right now I need all the support. Hi, Nindy. I need all the support that I could possibly get. And I don't need people who are not there with me 100%. Even if they don't get what I'm doing, they need to be there with me. And so, what I think people do when they create plan B, or when they say, well, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to end up doing that, it's also because they have a lot of people that are not supporting them. So what they're doing is they are proving themselves to these people, right? They're constantly trying to show themselves that they got it. Like, they want to show their family and their friends that they're good, they have everything under control. And the truth is, when you start doing something that no one else is doing in your family or in your circle, oh boy, you have no clue what you're doing. I don't care how much experience you might have working in a company doing it. Doing it for yourself is so much different. It's just a completely different world, a different bargain. So I think that's another thing that you need to realize. You have to stop pretending that you got it all handled, that you have it all under control. Um, Hi, my school, Columbia. And you just have to accept that you don't have it all under control. You're going to fail, and failure is part of the journey. And the other thing that I want to say is that, let's say you have to take a break for someone, or you have to cut them out. If there are people who are meant to be in your life, who truly care about you, you will get reunited with them. You will find the language, and um, you will find the language. You will create a relationship that works for both of you, even if it doesn't happen right away. It's completely okay. Um, so, one thing that I can share from my own experience is I had to go out in the world completely by myself, move to New York City, live with strangers for many, many years, for about, I don't know, 8 years, or for how long, maybe longer, I think longer than that. I lived in the city for 13 years, and I think only for 2 years I lived with somebody I knew. Yeah, so a lot longer than that. Oh, and then I moved in with my husband. So yeah, I guess about 8, 9 years. And I lived with complete strangers because I just did not feel that I was getting the support that I needed from my family in any sense or form. Was it hard? Yeah, it was. But I started to learn so much about who I am and who I want to be in the world, and the things that my family both taught me what to do and not to do, because your family, no matter how much you don't feel connected to them, they are always teaching you something, right? They could be teaching you who to be or who not to be. So, um this is like super important, because when you achieve success, you want to be very aware of who is by your side. And if people are not supporting you from the beginning, but they're like there by your side, would you want them there when you're successful, when you're doing well? No, you wouldn't want the type of person around you, not when you're not successful, not when you're successful, because they're always going to be bringing you down. And you need to stop pleasing them. You need to stop trying to do things for them to show how you have it all figured out, because they're going to leave you alone if you have it all figured out, or they're going to be looking up to you, or because like you're afraid of judgment. It's shameful. Oh my god, like I'm in my 30s and I don't have my shit together, but I don't care, because every single day I feel better and better about my life. I love what I do. I love talking to all of you. I love sharing my experiences. I love sharing my life, and I have people who write to me, and they say that it is very inspiring and motivational for them. And that's what it's important to me. And I'm going to figure out the rest. I'm figuring it out already, slowly but surely. And that's the reason why I think a lot of people create a plan B. I think the number one reason why people create a plan B is because they're afraid of what are people gonna think about them, say about them. Their circle of friends is going to change. Maybe if they enjoyed luxurious things, now they can't do it as much, so they don't look good in front of those people. And but guess what? It's better to get a good friend, a new friend, who is there with you in the good and the bad, than people who are there with you only when you have certain social status, economical status. So, you know what I mean? Like, this is super important. And this is, I guess, maybe point part four, or reason number four, but it's really not the reason. It's more, this is the outcome. This is for you to actually really notice how committed are you to your dream? How committed are you to this project that you really desire to be doing, or you're already doing? Because once you're so committed to it, it doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter how hard it gets. You are so committed to it that nothing and no one gets in your way. Now, I'm not saying that all of a sudden everything is perfect and everything just works out overnight. No, there's still so much dedication and so much work that needs to get done behind the scenes. Hi, Jovan. And while that's happening, um, you are accomplishing your goals, but it comes down to the commitment. Are you committed to making everyone else happy around you and just maintaining a certain status that in reality isn't really making you happy? Or are you committed to the craziest, the most delirious dream that you have for yourself, and people are saying, well, yeah, you're crazy, you're delirious, that doesn't make any sense, can you really make money with that, can you really live off of that? This is a question that I get from family. Yeah, is that really feasible? Well, what happens if YouTube goes away? What happens if Instagram goes away? Well, what happens, if you can't go to work for a year? Like, we had a situation like that recently, and people struggled. Good morning, dobro jutro, dobro večer za mene. um, and so, yeah, so it really comes down to that. You have to decide the life that you want to live. And if all of it went away, I'm telling you 100%, I will not regret me choosing to do this, me choosing to quit my old job, because on this journey I just got to discover me. And that's really what matters in the end of the day, is that I know me, that I love me, that I figure out who I am, and that I can just be me. And without all these titles, without all these ideas of how much money I'm making a year, and what is my stat, and what is my title at work, and all these things. Hi, Emmy. All these things are super important. And yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. Plan B is great, but Plan B should be just something that sustains you in hard times while you're building your business. Plan B should not be something that you just say, it got tough and I'm just going to go back to it, to Plan B. I'm going to go back to Plan B. I'm going to go back to my old job. And just quit what I've been working for so long on, because your brain, your body is not used to this new life. You are doing something so different much from what you've been doing so far. And doing that, you have to break out of your beliefs, of your old programming, of all those things. But you can only do that if you're committed and you don't have an exit plan, but you have a solution. You have a solution. A plan B should be a solution, not an exit plan. Alrighty, Jupitines. Love you very much. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you for joining.